Welcome back to the link. And we're so excited about our next interview because it's with Paul Tapao. Welcome, Paul.
Hey, half a day. That was some power people you had on. I want to thank Director Brennan, for really touching the light, or getting on the light with their efforts with the Department of Youth Affairs and assisting Child Protection Services, because the Guam Police Department, we work really close with those respective agencies, and understanding what's needed and what needs to be done. And again, I just want to reiterate, if you have space in your heart and your home and you want to foster the kids that do need help in the community, please reach out to them. So
right, Paul, but it's also heartbreaking to hear that they're about the backlog of cases, the 900, she said. And when you think about that, to me, that's like 900 children that are in need of help.
It is, the work that we do on a daily basis with the Guam Police Department, there are, I want to say there's not a day that goes by where we don't reach out to our partners with Child Protection Services in seeking the right care, for the respective child that may be affected, or, it's really the numbers that speaks for itself. It's really the need and the assessment of where, how we collaborate with the various agencies, and seeing that, they're addressing it, because, the kinship is one of the more important things that, I want to stress, that we, with a regulatory agency such as the Guam Police Department that enforces the laws, work closely with CPS. Back in my day as a patrol officer, the first thing we would do was sit down and hash out the next of kin that can provide a safe haven, because Director Brennan is right. It's if, these kids who get lost and within the system, and separating siblings is one of the things that, we don't want to see. And of course, understanding the backlog, and there are cases where, and as you can see, crystal methamphetamine, domestic violence, child abuse cases, that have been reported, and what we're seeing in the magistrate courts are pretty much the precursors that involves the family. So, there's the challenges that are ahead, and, seeing what needs to be done. I think this is the direction, and of course, the course of action that's going to be taken. So, we'll continue to support them in our side with, the Guam Police Department, and, we ask the community, if anybody, you can call directly if you feel that there's welfare checks that needs to be done within the community. Please, call the respective precincts or call CPS directly.
Mm-hmm. Paul, we talk about this all the time, about this drug pandemic on this island. Mm-hmm. And I don't even want to say it's shocking anymore, especially when you hear about the allegations that there are dirty cops, right? And it came back into the spotlight in the recent Mark Mayo drug trial. But that wasn't the first time. Before, we heard it in the former Mayor Jesse Bloss's case. And that was in 2019. When it first came up in the former mayor's trial, did GPD investigate the allegations? And did GPD find anything at all?
Like I explained to Adriana when we did the interview, if these allegations should have merits, we welcome the complaints from the community. We welcome any investigation that really puts a test on the department's officers, our personnel, our sworn and our unsworn personnel, and really touching the basis of integrity and, official misconduct, officers' misconduct in the line of duty. We welcome that up at our legal side with our internal affairs. And if any of these allegations that were brought forth prior to or during the trial should have any merits, and they feel that we need to investigate, Chief Stephen Ignacio, since he's taken the helm, has really showed transparency and, of course, maintaining the integrity of each and every investigation or any allegation that's laid forward for any sworn officers by reaching out to other agencies to conduct independent investigations so that we maintain that integrity. So again, these are allegations, and we hold firm that each and every personnel within the Guam Police Department, we are all held accountable for our actions. And we welcome any complaints from the community. This helps better our service to the community. We understand the needs for continuing our community-driven initiatives that we have. And this is where partnership and trust comes hand in hand with our community-oriented policing strategy. And, we can't get the trust from the community. We can't showcase that, then, it's pretty much, we lose that. But we want to maintain that relationship by bringing forth about how we move forward with any officer involved investigation. So again, should there be merits to these allegations, we'll sit down and we'll work it out. And of course, we'll move forward with the proper and appropriate measures for any type of investigation that's brought forth within the Guam Police Department.
Okay, so since it was brought forth back in September, November 2019, was there an investigation into those allegations?
I'm not aware of any investigation. Again, these are the feds I've yet to receive any information. If the feds had reached out to the Guam Police Department, again, we'll wait and see. And hey, it's going to take its course. Should they identify? Should they provide any information? And of course, should we identify, or should merits be brought forth? Then we'll cooperate accordingly, and we'll provide any information and provide the support within this investigation, because we really do hold each and every personnel within the Guam Police Department, again, sworn and unsworn, to high state of integrity, and of course the standard of how we operate within the community. So
I'm sorry, Paul, did you say that you're not aware if the feds have contacted GPD? I mean,
on my side,
right,
again,
but is that something like, well, why wouldn't GPD, if these allegations are being made, why wouldn't GPD take the initiative and say, we need to look into this? This is serious.
So, to answer that question, when these information that came out with the trial and stuff, okay, we, of course, we welcome the news. We've embraced that, hey, they're making allegations towards, the activities of some of the officers. If there's, like I mentioned, if there's merits of forward, we can't move forward without the merits and, of course, identifying. So posturing with that, the feds, this is a federal investigation. The feds are taking the full lead on this. Again, if they reach out to our agency to say that, hey, we got something coming down the pipe, the Guam Police Department will be welcoming that information, and of course moving forward with that information and how to properly address it, because again, we work closely with them, and we've reached out to the feds when we had officers complaints come in, and of course respecting the full color of the law and understanding that any rights that have been violated, any inappropriate actions that were committed by our sworn officers, these are things that we have to investigate moving forward with both an administrative investigation and a criminal investigation. And we've shown before with the leadership of Chief Ignacio that we want to maintain the integrity of every case, and we want to, take away any biasness that may exist with the investigation. This is why we move forward with independent agencies that can provide these types of investigations. So remember, these cases were brought forth by the federal government, and if they're going to move forward with any investigation, they're going to, they'll pretty much reach out to our chief of police.
Mm-hmm. As a police officer, though, and as many years as you've been on the force, and you've been wearing that badge, to hear something like that come out and allegations of corruption in the Guam Police Department, because we all know there are some bad apples, but there are so many more good officers out there, right? So how does that make you feel when you hear that?
I've always lived by the principle of, it's really, you are an independent person and everything, but, on how I feel about it, of course, our work that we do with the community affairs. I've been doing this for almost 8, 10 years, working with the community, and really the hardest part of this line is really maintaining the trust with the community, establishing the trust with the community. And when we hear news about this, it pretty much puts us 10 steps back, but these are obstacles, these are challenges that we see forth, that we still need to maintain the character, the integrity of the department, and of course, those officers that do good. One person can really spoil the whole batch, and we understand that. And this is why we, with the Guam Police Department, move with our community-oriented policing in ensuring that we maintain that trust with the community. And I've experienced that through my years moving up in the ranks, with the department, serving over 20 years with GPD. We've seen cases come of officers who were indicted, who were convicted of official misconduct, and of course for their acts. And of course, it does bring that sense of distrust by the community. But nevertheless, we continue to still move forward. And I fully believe that with the right that people with the righteousness that our officers do have, continue to provide the service, the level of service to the community, and assuring that, hey, we will take care of that to the court system. These allegations were brought forward. Now it's here. We still have the officers that do want to do right for the community and do want to serve the people of Guam in accordance to what we hold with our code of ethics, with our sworn to protect, life and property and so forth. And it does muddy the waters with the department, but, we still need to continue to move forward with those officers who believe in righteousness and pursuing that we are all ambassadors of the badge we wear, and we all represent each and every law enforcement agency, because, we've dubbed it, and we've coined it. We are the premier law enforcement agency, and when we have allegations like these, we're not going to turn off the light. We're going to turn on the light, and we'll welcome that. And should it come forward, should they bring merits, hey, we'll provide the assistance for any investigation, but we'll maintain the integrity of every case that is brought forth against any officer or any personnel within the Guam Police Department.
Is GPD involved in the investigation over the Guam International Airport Authority?
That's in the airport side. I really can't comment on another agency, ma'am. Again, should anything arise, we'll provide any.
No, but is GPD investigating the Guam International Airport Authority?
I'm not aware of any part of the Guam Police Department investigating that part. I did read in one of the media outlets of a FOIA that was provided to the airport that was printed. So, that's a different agency. I can't really expound on that, but I don't know if, to my knowledge, I don't know if we were a part of any investigation on another agency's part relative to this allegations that was brought forth to the Guam Airport Authority.
Sarge, that being said, are you aware of any investigation being conducted by the Guam Police Department relative to any Guam Police Department officers gambling on the job?
Not at this time. Again, this was brought forth, and should we, like I mentioned, should we have any information that any of our personnel have been really engaged in any inappropriate, behavior and stuff, we'll provide that information to the community. So I have really nothing to report at this time in regards to what's transpired or what has transpired with other agencies. So. And of course with our agency, and again, should anything develop, we'll provide more information to the greater community and of course to our respective media partners.
I sent you a video last night. Did you get it?
Yes, we did. That case is ongoing. We want to thank the respective community members, our neighborhood watch groups who provided information, and moving forward with the information that was shared through social media. We are moving forward with this case. So rest assured, our officers are going to work diligently. I think this is a good case.
But no arrest yet?
Not that I know of at this time. I was in the process of following up with this. I do know that as of late last night, the information that was gathered to the respective command about the identity of the individual responsible for this crime has been shared with the respective operations sergeants within the northern, central, and the southern precincts.
It's kind of funny because the guy had his in the video. He has his last name tattooed. This is like stupid criminal news. You know, I always say, Sarge, you know, in the radio, I was in the radio for so long, being on the radio. There's these, what they call them, prep services. So as a DJ, you can subscribe to these prep services, and they give you like 10 pages of material every show. I never did it because I was always all local, but other DJs did. But you get like these 10 pages of like stupid crime and whatever, this day in history. But I always said we don't need to go to the States to find stupid criminals because we have plenty of stupid criminals right here on Guam. But that's a new kind of stupid. This is a new kind of stupid. This is like stupid, you stupid sacky solar panels, but you have your freaking last name tattooed on your forearm. I mean, that's just a whole other level of stupid.
Hey, it's evidence, right? And any type of evidence that we can gather with our investigation. I've used tattoo many times as an identifying marker. As a matter of fact, as part of our Crime Stoppers presentation to the community, one of the things we talk about are scars, tattoos, and birthmarks. So, you know, I mean, it's either you have it removed, surgically done, or, you know, you're stuck with that. And again, I'm going to refrain from any comments about, you know, this case because we want to protect the integrity of this investigation.
Your facial expression, though, says it all.
I'm doing my best to hide the glare. As you can see, I'm losing because of the glare. I was taken back by Julian Huggins.
Right, yeah, emotional, yeah.
Yes, I was.
But that was just funny because I was going around last night with the video and then the guy's like Facebook page and then the pictures of him on his Facebook with his, what is it? Kinata? It looks like
you know, in light of that, I do want to commend the neighborhood watch groups. You know, I mean, it was shared. I mean, as soon as that message was shared in the Dedido proper channels within the respective neighborhood watch groups, it was shared within the neighborhood commanders. Mm-hmm. It was shared within the respective ranks within the Guam Police Department to the operations chat that we have, and it was. I mean, that went viral. So seeing the benefits of social media again here, it pretty much spells out how the community has embraced its efforts in really providing that proactive approach. And really, I mean, because of the pandemic, we're seeing a lot of social media posts about crimes that were taught by citizens taking actions by reporting that. As a matter of fact, when we made the arrest last week about that Tumuning case, you know, there were viral videos of confrontation that occurred. And, you know, we were able to identify, add some evidence to that based on viral videos that were shared by some of the victims that were involved by the burglaries that occurred in Tumuning, and of course, other viral videos that were provided by the community members that were shared to the respective neighborhood watch groups. So, you know, we're seeing a lot of standing up efforts with the community neighborhood watch groups. And, you know, we want to applaud that because that really helps us with our investigation. And, you know, rest assured, this case that happened in Dedido, it's being, right now, there's an ongoing investigation to this matter. So taking all the evidence that we have, using all the social media platforms, this will be incorporated and of course included within the authoring of the reports.
Right. You know, Paul, though, when I see all of these social media videos, which is quite frequent, it also to me is like, what the hell's going on? Is crime, you know, it looks like it's increasing on Guam.
Yeah.
It's more of reporting through social media, and we're seeing it more. And some of them, it's really the beautiful thing, and I want to share this with you with our respective neighborhood watch commanders group. There's a lot of vetting process that we do, you know, because we have officers that are a part of that. So really, some of the current ones, you know, will validate it that this is ongoing. If anybody has any information, we're seeing more of it now being brought forth versus, you know, it being just the traditional, we report it to the police and the police does their investigation, but now the community is made aware of the crimes that are being committed because it's captured and it's being circulated through social media. So understanding that, you know, the magnitude that social media plays, it really magnifies an incident of a crime. But to answer your question, you know, since the pandemic, we've only, I'll be true with you, because of the fact that people are staying home, I want to say that's attributed, that may have been a contributing factors to reduction of crimes. We've seen less reports of crimes reported to the Guam Police Department, but we are seeing an increase of social media posts that are being shared. And of course, what Chief Stephen Ignacio had put on record was, and of course, what we are saying is that we're seeing an increase and an uptick with our street interdiction with crystal methamphetamine and the arrest of possession. So, social media is a viable tool that we've been utilizing and using to help us close cases. And, one of the cases that I reported last week with immediate release was the arrest of the 3 burglaries that occurred in Tamuning.
Has GPD issued any citations, any additional ones to people violating the governor's executive orders?
Not since the last one, since the Joy Luck Club incident. Citation was issued for that offense. Again, we, since the executive order that granted the Guam Police Department and Department of Public Health the authorization to issue that citation since November, we've had one and another business that I'm still following up on with our COVID response personnel that has had issued that, but I do know it's for violating the max capacity for an organization or a group or social gathering. So a lot of it was really based on social gathering. We've got reports from the respective precincts during the 3 holidays that, when they did their rounds in the community, a lot of them, I want to say, it's really the numbers that we're seeing. It's indicative of people adhering to their behavior modifiers that they needed to do to bring the numbers down, to bring that CAR score to where we can actually open up and ease the restrictions somewhat, and continue to work. I want to say Department of Education, they had 2 cases. They didn't close the school. They just identified what needed to be done. They are doing their COVID response, likewise with the Guam Police Department. We have our officers that are trained in doing the tests, that can administer the COVID test to our arrestees, and of course to our personnel. So these types of things that we've adopted to our COVID operations has really helped and benefit the department. So we're seeing a lot of great things within that we've learned through the pandemic and how we can better our agency. Our records and ID section has caught up with the demands with personal police records. We continue to move forward in providing the service with the respective agencies and of course the services bureau in operating and of course mitigating our COVID operations.
Okay, Paul, just one more time. I just want to make sure we're completely clear. GPD is not investigating or part of the investigation over at the Guam International Airport.
Yeah, that's the Guam International Airport site. So
GPD is not investigating anything involving the Guam International Airport Authority and allegations.
To my knowledge, ma'am, I don't think we have a part with that investigation. So, like I said, I can reach out to see if we are if they've reached out to ask us to an independent investigation, but I was not without any information about the airport other than what we're seeing on the news.
Mm-hmm. And no officers, GPD, police officers have been
Not to my knowledge.
implicated as part of this investigation or were involved in any sort of illegal gambling online or whatever.
I don't have any information that was brought forth in reference to this. Again, that's an airport, that's a different agency matter. Should anything arise with our side of the shop with the Guam Police Department, we'll provide information to the greater media and of course to the greater community.
Can you confirm if the FBI is investigating it?
I don't know. Might have to reach out to them on their side.
But you're not aware, again, of any officers at the Guam Police Department that are under investigation for...
Not to my knowledge, yeah.
Okay. All right, thanks, Paul.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, guys, take care.
Right on, yeah.
Stay safe.
You stay
Thank you,
safe.
Sarge. God bless you.
All right, take
There you
care.
go. Okay, see you.